When German soldiers were captured during World War II, most of them expected the worst. For years, Nazi propaganda had carefully shaped their expectations. The United States was portrayed as chaotic, divided, and morally weak, a nation driven by greed and inequality. German soldiers were taught that American society was unstable and that captivity would mean humiliation, hunger, and brutal treatment. Many believed they would be punished simply for being German. Then, they arrived in America. For countless prisoners of war, the first shock had nothing to do with guards, fences, or discipline. It was the land itself. Endless farmland stretching beyond the horizon. Well-paved roads, quiet towns untouched by bombing, bridges standing intact, homes filled with light at night. This was not the image they had been taught. The journey inland only deepened the confusion. Trains crossed vast distances without signs of destruction. Cities appeared calm. Life seemed organized. For men who had left behind a continent in ruins, the contrast was overwhelming. But the greatest surprise came quickly. Food. German prisoners received regular meals, often larger, warmer, and more varied than what they had eaten for months on the front lines. Fresh bread, meat, vegetables, coffee, sugar, items that had become rare luxuries in wartime Europe. Some prisoners believed it was a temporary display, a trick meant to impress them. Others suspected it was propaganda. Surely this abundance could not last. It did. The United States followed the Geneva Convention with unusual consistency. POW camps were structured, clean, and orderly. Medical care was available. Prisoners received clothing, shelter, and basic comforts. Discipline existed, but it was predictable, not arbitrary. For many Germans, this alone was deeply unsettling. Soon, another shock followed: work. Because millions of American men were overseas, labor shortages existed across the country. German prisoners were assigned to work details, especially on farms. They harvested crops, repaired fences, and operated machinery. In return, they earned small wages they could spend at camp stores. This level of trust was unexpected. Prisoners interacted with civilians. They spoke with farmers, store owners, and factory supervisors. Many Americans treated them not as enemies, but as workers doing a necessary job. Conversations were cautious, but human. What shocked the prisoners most was not kindness alone. It was efficiency. American farms produced food on a scale many had never witnessed. Tractors replaced dozens of laborers. Mechanized harvesters moved relentlessly across fields. Storage silos stood full. Logistics worked quietly in the background, ensuring nothing was wasted. Even far from the battlefield, the war effort felt organized and unstoppable. German prisoners listened to American radio. They heard uncensored news reports. They read newspapers describing battles honestly, including American losses. This transparency felt foreign. Slowly, the image they had been taught began to crack. The United States did not appear exhausted by war. It appeared energized by it. Some prisoners later admitted that captivity in America was the moment they realized Germany could not win. Not because of a single defeat, not because of one battle, but because of comparison. They saw a society capable of fighting a global war while maintaining stability at home. A nation producing weapons, food, vehicles, and supplies without collapsing under pressure. A system that absorbed strain instead of breaking. This realization was devastating. When the war ended, prisoners were eventually returned to a destroyed Germany. Cities lay in ruins. Infrastructure was shattered. Food was scarce. Many former prisoners carried memories of America with them. Memories that now felt almost unreal. For some, Captivity became an unexpected education. They had seen democracy functioning during wartime. They had witnessed productivity without fear. They had experienced rules applied consistently rather than arbitrarily. These impressions stayed. Many former prisoners later became supporters of rebuilding Germany along democratic lines. Others helped reconstruct agriculture and industry using methods they had observed in America. Captivity had changed them, quietly, permanently. World War II was fought with armies, weapons, and strategy. But it was also fought with systems, economies, and ways of life. And for thousands of German prisoners of war, the greatest shock was discovering that America's true power was not only its military strength, but the society that sustained it. This is one of the lesser-known stories of World War II. A story not of battles, but of contrast. And one of the moments that changed how a generation understood the world. This is one of the wars that changed the world.